A very warm welcome to Daily Dispatch powered by HSBC. I'm Priya Sheth, and joining me on this conversation is Abhishek Gupta from Redseer. Thank you very much, Abhishek, for joining us today. I want to talk about the quick commerce market. I believe Redseer has done a report in this regard, and there is an exponential growth that's projected for the quick commerce space. But before we talk about that, let's talk about the last couple of months, because we've seen so many players venturing into the space. The kind of activity in the space is phenomenal. So tell us a little bit about how the last couple of months have shaped up from an outsider's point of view.
No, sure, Priya. Glad to be a part of this. So quick commerce has really been a phenomena. I mean, especially in the last 2 quarters or so. Looking at where it was, let's say maybe January of last year, it was maybe just one player, Instamart, that was at a certain scale. And in the last 2 quarters, at least, what we've seen is many players entering the space. And January numbers, I've just had a look at them about 2 days back. So we finished sort of quick commerce market. Our estimate was about 500 million, 550 million odd sales in calendar year 21. In January, we are already at a run rate of 1.2 billion. So just goes to show that how aggressive this is. Multiple players have entered in the game, right from Swiggy, Blinkit, Dunzo, Ola Dash, Big Basket now has an offering. So this is a space we only expect to take it from here. I mean, even if you speak to some of the brands, I was reading articles that brands like IT Foods, etc., their sales on quick commerce are now exceeding what they sell on regular grocery platforms. It just goes to show the kind of tailwinds that are there for the sector. Yeah.
But Abhishek, tell us, why is quick commerce picking up in such a big way? Like, why are people ordering so much on quick commerce?
Right. No, absolutely. So I think, yeah, essentially sort of, so there are 2 ways to look at it. From the demand side, we're seeing fundamental shifts in consumer behavior. They're really preferring convenience over price. Although sort of prices are, they're not, let's say, aggressive in terms of delivery fees, etc. But if we compare, what's really driving it is that very superior customer experience that they're getting from quick commerce, and they're going back again and again. So just to give some numbers, what we saw is in our survey, speed and reliability came as a top decision-making factor when they were choosing a quick commerce platform. Whereas for any other e-commerce, especially grocery, it was almost exclusively used to be price as the determining factor. So that's one thing, speed and convenience. The second bit is that it is sort of validated by the pricing that you see on platforms. So let's say if I compare any staple product on quick commerce or regular e-grocery, it's not that prices on quick commerce are at a much higher discount. They're almost the same level or sometimes even higher. So it goes to show that fundamental shifts in consumer behavior that we're seeing, and very high consumer, let's say, NPS levels that we see, unlike we've seen in any other sectors.
Right. At this point in time, grocery, I believe, is the biggest sector on quick commerce, and that's doing phenomenally well. But of course, there is expectation that other sectors also may open up when as companies strengthen their supply chains and logistics out there. So, what according to you would be the categories of the future?
Right. So some of the fast selling ones, it could be just some electronic accessories that are moving fast. It could even be things like stationery. I mean, we've already seen pharma sort of picking up in this space. So yeah, some of the fast moving items, fast moving SKUs, we do expect to sort of latch onto this faster. I think in the past we have seen various horizontal platforms trying out selling mobile phones, etc., which didn't really take off at the time. But this time, at least from a supply chain standpoint, from a customer maturity standpoint, we're seeing sort of enough tailwinds both from supply and demand side to make it suitable for other categories and not just restricted to grocery. But having said that, grocery still is going to be the category. That's where the need for 10-minute, or let's say need for quick delivery is the highest. Yeah.
Any key trends that you see evolving in the coming year? I mean, the kind of run rate that you mentioned at the beginning of this interview was phenomenal. What kind of trends do you see evolving in the sector?
Right. So I think one thing that we're seeing is it's still a very metro concentrated market. So top 3 cities, maybe Delhi NCR if we count as one, Bangalore and Bombay, they're they're contributing to about 2/3 of this overall market. So still a very metro-driven phenomena. Don't expect that to fundamentally shift unless players go really aggressive in beyond, let's say, top 6-7 cities. So that's something we expect to sort of continue this year. The second bit, what we're seeing is just the product assortment mix. I think a lot of economics here would be driven by how accurate or how predictable your back end of the chain is. So on the delivery side, it's clear that it's just going to be rider picking up from the store and delivering it to the customer. But the back end, we do expect a lot of innovations happen. Some bit of private label play to also come up here because of just how low the margins are. But yeah, I think innovation around backend and continued sort of expansion, at least in the metro, there's a lot of juice to be extracted within metro cities to continue.
Right. Abhishek, in your report, you mentioned 15x is the kind of growth over the next 3 years. What's really going to drive this? And, I believe, of course, private players coming into the game will also change the rules of this entire game. But 15x over the next 3 years, what all have you taken into account?
Right. So, no, I think great question. So let's say just taking a step back, how things were in e-grocery 2 years back, it was about $1 billion GMV market. Quick commerce is already, I think we're at over $1 billion GMV in January. In February could be even higher. So what we're seeing is that the pie is expanding. So the overall, so let's say traditionally grocery has always been a stock up behavior, stock up market. So people, when they stock up purchases for the month, they were going to e-grocery. So a lot of shifts that happened from your regular supermarket buying to online grocery verticals. But for the first time with quick commerce, we're seeing your top up behavior also getting disrupted. So earlier, your top up still used to be kirana. So at the same time, what we're seeing is the pie is, let's say, quick commerce is taking some share of grocery, but it's also expanding the pie significantly. So that's another factor that's leading to this. I think, the numbers do validate that. I mean, we might have to even revise our growth estimates, given that how we have seen things going on in the market. We might very well close at, who knows, 1.52 billion by the end of it. So our growth rates might revise a bit. For context, overall grocery market in India right now, e-grocery is about $5 billion, and we're already seeing 1 billion run rate of quick commerce. But yeah, I think shifts in consumer behavior as more players sort of come in, and we start tapping into the top up that typically used to be Kirana's playground. I think that's where a lot of disruption is happening.
Right. A final question, Abhishek, before I let you go on funding. Do you expect more funding into the space? We've seen funding into e-commerce traditionally, but when you look at quick commerce, do you expect more allocation of funds, aggressive investment into supply chain?
I think with this environment, really difficult to comment. We've seen some players going bust in US in the last couple of months. But yeah, having said that, I think players with really deep pockets have come in. Organically, people are funding. Big Basket is starting an initiative. Ola is starting an initiative. Similarly, yeah, we already have Swiggy and others. So not sure if we'll see many more new players, but at least I think even now there's enough action and let's say expansion that current players will sort of go for.
All right, Abhishek, thanks very much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. Thanks so much for your valuable insights on the quick commerce space.